Right, that's better. Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to the start of another week, and welcome to our final part of the rise and fall of Napoleon. Right? That was a quick 10 weeks, you know. Hope you're all keeping terribly well. Yes, friends, tonight we bring the end of this rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte, and tonight we shall follow Napoleon from his second abdication through the arrest and his final voyage out to the lonely years on St Helena. Ooh, great to hear this. This is where time slowed, power evaporated, and history was rewritten by the man who once commanded it. As we reach the end, we're also going to step back and look at the whole arc, the rise from obscurity, the reshaping of Europe, the wars, the law, the destruction, the legend, and the question that still divides opinions 2 centuries later. You see, we're taking this machine with us tonight, that of the airship industry's Skyship 600. Some say it flies worse than Mikar. It's an island tour of St Helena as we check it out, so we've no real kind of flight plan route thing. We start off at the airport, Foxtrot Hotel, Sierra Hotel, St Helena. It's actually a brand new airport. We'll do an island tour and then return to the same airport. There's only one, you see. But anyway, Asher, how he is now, look. I had a very busy weekend. So first and foremost, I got rid of well, it wasn't intentional, right? I got up on Saturday morning because I had to go to the airport, right? And I went in and said, I have to tidy up me, it was going all over the shop. So I, never try and trim a beard at 5 in the morning. So I made a terrible blunder and I had a stash. I deleted the moustache. So I was like, no, I've done something terrible. I cut my nose as well. You can't really see it, but no, it's really sore. I nearly lost my nose. But anyway, I had to shave it all off. So I was going, don't worry now, right? It'll be back. About 6 years will get us back up to where we were the other day, right? So don't panic. The wife said I looked weird. My son said I looked weird. And you didn't really notice it, Makes you look 10 years older. Yeah, right, Jesus. And I cut my hair as well. But anyway, hang on, I could use this now as ammunition, because if you lot said, we preferred your beard, then you admit I actually did indeed have a beard and not the, promiscuous bum fluff that appeared on my face when I was young fella, and I said, Jesus, that doesn't look too bad. Anyway, what are we doing tonight? Friends, this machine... The Skyship 600. Right. I mean, when I first did the trailer to this video a while ago, right? I was trying to do the recording of it. I was like, shit, I can't fly this at all. So I've spent a little bit of time trying to learn how to fly it, to come to the conclusion, of course, I can't fly it at all. Right. So we're just going to kind of let the wind kind of, it'll work. It'll absolutely work. Precision engineering this, it uses helium, you see, and fan engines, couple of fans, bit of helium, tied up in a plastic bag, and here we have it. Or tarpaulin. There's buttons going on. You just need to shave your head next. Right. Jesus, that's cutting fair tin now as well, lads. But anyway, that was Saturday. I came back on Saturday after the airport to a problem with me Skoda that it's losing air in the back left. So then I said, right, I'll go off and get new tyres. Went down to the tyre man because I didn't have much time. Went down to the tyre man, and it turns out, friends, the lock nut that comes with your car for the alloy? The lock nut key, if you like, is shagged. So the former mechanic who last did a job in the car shagged it and didn't tell me. So we'd no way of taking the back bolt off. We tried, don't worry. And then I had to go to another place and he wasn't there. And then I ran out of time, so we're just driving on it. It's grand, it's totally fine. Then I did a mission in the afternoon and then I got back, but I was absolutely jaded when I got back. And then on Sunday, I was hoping to get back early. On Sunday, I did a bit of, jiggery-pokery with the house. As you do. And that was pretty much it. We're back here now today. I had a productive day. The blind man came. Brilliant. So I've now all fancy blinds, Venetian blinds. Yes, in the kitchen and the utility room. Some sort of utility. And of course then in the sitting room and at the front door. Lovely, these things are. Drove the cat friggin' nuts. But they're lovely. You can turn them. And if you get the timing right, with the street lamp, you look like one of those evil villains, with the lines across their face, with the blinds, And then if you turn them the other way, you can see people and they can't see you. Right? I'm just saying, there's advantages to all these things. So, great success, right? Everything's coming together. And what else did I do? That was it. You're up to date now. Brilliant. And then tomorrow I'm busy again. Jesus, I've no streams at all tomorrow. I don't know what to be doing. Well, I know what I'm doing, but right, I'm not around during the day, and then there's parent-teacher meetings. I'm great at them. So, how did you end up in this career? That's usually what I ask them. They don't know what to say then. Brilliant. But anyway, let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens tonight. It's a tour. We're going to learn all about the final days, weeks, months and years of our good old pal, buddy old pal, Napoleon Bonaparte. And from there on, we will be starting a new Monday night series next week. I've started planning. I just need to record all the videos. But the sim is making me pull out my eyelashes because you can record one thing, you go back into the menu, you type something, and the sim goes, not today. And it shuts down. Is it doing that to you as well? Stupid thing. But anyway, we'll get through it, lads. We'll sort it out somehow. Don't know how, but we'll sort it out. Also, very important to say, the missus is in New York City. They arrived on Saturday lunchtime, New York time, and it was nice. It was cold, and then Sunday morning started snowing like a devil, and it hasn't stopped. And some of the photos she sent over are absolutely class, right? And it's like -10, feels like -16. Right, but anyway, it's all calming it down. And one thing she did say, she said, New Yorkers, she says they're well versed, like they're well prepared. Snow plows out and no messing. So like it was a snowstorm rather than a blizzard, right? But it was pretty cool, right? Hope she's been practicing her American accent. Aria, she does get lessons from me, you know, how to speak American. You don't ask for a beer. Hello, can I have a Budweiser, please? No. I'll take a bud. You don't even need to say thank you. You know, I'll take the sandwich and a bud. If you drink Budweiser, of course, maybe you don't. But I'm just saying, right, we were all like, please, and would you mind terribly? And Asher, listen, if only you could spare a little bit of, you know, beer. But no, the Americans, they know what they want. So therefore, they don't ask. They just take it. Yeah, I'll take a beer. Will you now? Take it, will you? Brilliant, right? So we're there's the old Saab 340 hover mode thingy. But anyway, we shall continue. I've buttons over here, look. Just wait till you see it. How was your weekend? You're looking well, you know, considering the weekend you had. It's great to see you. It's great to see you. Tarnish Mossman, happy Monday. Vacuum is in the house. Super Typhon, sup? The Gibbon. Remember the Gibbons? Just I got in terrible trouble after on Friday night. I went into the sitting room. They're inside watching. Oh Jesus, what did they be watching? It's stupid movies. I forget the name of it. Basically, it was a girl and she liked a fella, and the fella liked her, but then she turned into a psychopath, and then she went off on his motorbike. What do women be watching? It doesn't make sense to us. It's supposed to be, you know, maybe there's some sort of a reason for all of this. No. She just wasn't right in the head. I forget the name of it now. Seemingly there was a trilogy of them. What? I was like, you watch this. There's a story here somewhere. But anyway, yeah, she was like, you're very loud. I was like, loud? Me? Never. I'm not loud at all. But anyway, I was over here, look. APU Inspector. Happy Monday, man. Hope you're well. Commander Balosh is here. Dougal McTavish, the chairman. You're very welcome aboard, Dougal. Eamon 1973. Sup to you, my dude. Hope all is well. I was trying to do a Geordie accent and it fell apart. I got nervous because Eamon is a Geordie. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce and wolfy. Welcome in. Chris Van Halen, welcome. Chuck is in the house. North Coast Mike, good evening. Hope you're well, buddy. Liptorius is here. Welcome in, buddy. Uniform Goose, good day, Goose. Happy Monday, man. Mud Dog is in the house. Alberto, good evening. Shuffle Shoes, shuffles in. AJH. Creo, a very good evening to all in County Mayo. 98 Vulcan is here. Good evening. Hope you're well. Oh, wait, I lie. I flew the Alouette for 47 minutes yesterday while I was waiting on dinner. I was on VATSIM for like half an hour, 40 minutes. Adam Controls did the stream. I was like, right, that's it. Cavalry. It was like that scene out of Anchorman, you know. Assemble. And that's what we did. Well, I flew the Alouette for a while. You know, give him an extra bit of Bajani then. But anyway, 98 Vulcan, good to see you. Ryan is here. 28 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Captain Kenobi is here. Bonsoir, monsieur. Hope you're well, buddy. Balbro, welcome in. Nutty Slack is here. Retriever Neil, happy Monday. Mech Manser has rambled in. Good to see you, buddy. Strap 21, hola. Viper Strike, he's at sea, heading back to Fort Lauderdale. With the Janie. Stu Snape is in the chat. Very good evening to you, Stu. Happy Monday. The Impossible Face says happy Monday, folks. We're ready to fly something that needs 7 business days to turn. Yes. And, you know, What? It might come back down, but, you know, landing this thing is going to be great crack. Liptorius, thank you very much indeed for your Prime subscription. 23 months. Cheers, buddy. Zybok Doc is here, calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. It's currently 4 degrees. 4 degrees! Janie. You're very welcome in. Mr. Big Britches is here. It's not that bad. Oh, 'tis bad now. Sunjammer, good evening. Mrs. TPHI, Upside Down International has arrived. Good evening. Malky Mac is here. Here we go again. Tier 1 for 11 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Malky. Good to see you, buddy. Soaring AJ. AJH man, hope you're well. It took a few resets before really being able to control it. Also, turn off live weather. Those 60 knot winds are trouble. Up to Janie. Mac Vision, good evening. G Slayer is here. He says, how are you, Murph? Thanks for the tutorial on the Moza pedals. Can't wait to receive mine. Nice. Yeah, we did on a live stream a couple of weeks back, and I just said I'll put it out there as a video because, you know, when we cover things on the Wednesday news, sometimes, you know, you need to make an old video about them because people forget. You know, Crafty Tigers, good to see you. 2 dogs, greetings from Wisconsin. Hello from Tipperary, you're looking well. Sumner is here, back in Naples, Florida. Good man yourself. Jesus, 2 dogs and Sumner. Surely you met up. I mean, how big is Wisconsin? You know, Adam Controls. Time for washout to spot a big shiny blimp on the radar. Yeah, so it's slowly moving to the south. There's now 12 more of them. Brilliant movie. Just Roy is here for Tier 2, 22 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Roy. Good to see you, man. Flying ties. Flying ties. There's something in the air tonight. Flyer 10. Well, the young fella made mac and cheese. I mean, that's what's in my air tonight. Right, but apart from that, we're grand. Yeah, it's just me and the young fella here. It's great. We got confused last night. We went into the utility room. We looked at this strange device. Never seen it really kind of operate before. It's just kind of a big white kind of a box with a door on it and a couple of buttons and a screen and a little tray. Had to learn what that thing was last night. You just put your clothes in, close the door, turn it on. Wait, hang on, I missed a step. Open the door, put your clothes in, close the door, turn it on and walk away. It does it. Oh, and detergent. Yes, it needs detergent or one of those small little gadgets, you know, that you use in the dishwasher, but don't use them in the dishwasher. But yes, now, where's this? Jesus, where's the thing with the yolk? Look, it's right. Now, over here, look, yes. Spitfire RAF 100 is in the chat. Welcome in. It's good to see you. You're looking well. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Good to see you, buddy. Ah, that's better now, isn't it? I mean, come on now, you know. Mr. TPHI, a very happy Monday. Hope all is well. P.S. Miranda is here. Hello there. 32 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Old Veteran 965, Tier 2 for 61 months. Jesus. Scott, thank you very much indeed. We saw the snow in Texas. Jesus. Would you jump into the pool with snow on the ground? Go on, you would. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope not everyone is frozen in. Yeah, the weather's shocking, isn't it? But anyway, Sim Guy, good to see you. Who else come in now? Grand 427, welcome. Illicit Major, welcome in, buddy. CP65, happy Monday, man. Apache is here. Mr. Pauly, good evening. Hermit something. A very good snowy afternoon to Boston. Good to see you, buddy. How's the weather? You know, weather invented by the Irish, but don't hold us responsible. Right. Where's this now? It's a bit of a pig to fly. In general, it is. Grimmy is here. Good to see you. A robe of a damn cloth would take the beard off you. Jesus. So the wife is away and you started grooming yourself. You think you're up to something. Wait, what? Makes you look 10 years older. Yeah. Till you had a beard. Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Mr. Pauly says I'm looking good. You're back in the will. Mr. Pauly's back in the will. When I zoom in to 32,000 times, I can see that cut. Hang on, I'll show you, look. I nearly lost my nose. Where is it? Wait. There, look. Do you see the thing? Look at the thing, man. Terrible, sir. Right. Nearly lost the nose. Whoosh. Blood was going everywhere. It was like a hose. A hose. I was going to say fireman's hose. It was like a hose. Yeah. Very graphic. Oh, yeah, Jesus. I had to sit down. Oh, yeah. I always had a beard to give Wait, I always have a beard to give the illusion of a chin. Yeah, that works. Cut your hair, which one? Go back and read the notes. Well, Drummer, good to see you. I think you are anyway. Who, what? Did you put it on top of your head? No. 2 big bags of hot air on the screen. 2 big bags, shag off. Brilliant. Right. Did the wind change direction? It could have. Piper is here. Tier 2 for 12 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. You just need to shave the head next. Yeah. Great bunch of lads, yeah. You took the words right out of me mouth. Bumfluff. It's always safe, you and I. You know, when I feel that I can exchange some information, my feelings perhaps, it's always a safe environment with you. Because you absolutely thrash them. You jump on it as if it was, kill it! It's Murphy's emotions, kill it! Right? And then I'd be left here with a smile on my face, but inside, I'm really dying. Well, I am. No, I'm not. I've thick skin. You know, I've a thick head as well, but sure, listen, you know, maybe I'm just stubborn. It's all right, lads. I can feel the love. I know it's only, you know, well, it depends actually. You know, there's a handful of you who actually mean it. Scott and Adam, where are you? Front and centre, bag and baggage. Where is this now? Did the Venetians mind? No, they didn't mind at all. You know, anyone know what he's rambling on about? No. Toto was here. Jesus, come on, Toto. Here at last. Just finished setting up my new internet. Ooh. What sort of speeds do you get with the new internet? Yes. Smudge, good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much for a Prime subscription. Cheers, man. Gar Gaming, hello to County Galway. Hope you're well. Where is this now? Hope she's been practicing her American accent, right? Where is this now? We clear the shelves here as soon as the first flake hits the ground. Zit, we take Brennan's bread and all the tato and milk. You can't get milk, bread or tato anywhere in the island if there's bad weather. Yes. Now, let's have a look at this. Grand, yes indeed. Jesus, I'm catching up. B. Carlo, good evening. Culkin is here. Where are we at now? Old Man Boss, welcome in. Backlight, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're well. You missed the part where my weekend was between minus 17 and minus 24 degrees. What? Minus 24, super tie, Jesus. Hey, Crotty is here. Happy Monday, buddy. Happy snow days, says Gaseous Maximus. Indeed. Briggsy.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
He says, hello. Is there a sim update soon, as I keep getting CTDs even without my community folder? Also, have you made a video on how to use Chaseplane? Is anyone having a crash to desktop in chat? Good evening, Briggsy. Hang on. Yes, there is, but we don't know when. No, I haven't, but I probably will. And no, but sometimes yes. I hope that clears up the issue. Right? Jesus. Where's the airport? That code doesn't exist. Just go to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Ooh, you'll find us. You'll find us there on the screen. You know. Vrouden, good to see you, Vrouden. Some people are having CTDs when using chase planes. About 1,000 miles west coast of Angola. Good man, Adam. That's exactly where it is. 404 is here. Good to see you. Happy Monday from a frozen and buried in snow Boston. Minus 10 here with 18 inches of snow. 18 inches of snow. Jesus, man. And like, I wouldn't mind, right? But you Bostonians, you know how to handle snow. So when you lads complain about it, you know it's bad. Jesus. Keep well, buddy. And I hope you're well. You're looking well. Do you know? Question is, can Mrs. TPHI be able to fly the Skyship upside down? Probably. One Fly Air is here. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. Now, let me see. Lear, good evening. Hope you're well. Patrick Doyle, welcome in. Husker Dew is here. Macam Dad, late to the party. It's grand. You just fixed the wife's car. Be Janie. Hi, Murph Jr. What have you done with the old man? Idle cut off. Jesus. I always knew I'd be welcome in Cambridge. You know, come on in here, Murph. Sit down now in front of the fire. You'll be all right. Brilliant. Right. I am not polar bear. I do not swim in cold weather. Oh, you were not. I didn't see the polar bear. Right. Okay. Wait, what? What was your first? Wait, was it me first time shaving? Jesus. Sir Consulot. AJH, my dude, hope you're well. Looks like a bee sting. Wait, what? He's almost there on the head shave. What? The wind is bad enough that my savage cub is after taking off. Jesus. Adam says, no, I wouldn't say anything bad to you and actually mean it. I only do that behind your back. Well, that's quite okay. I mean, that's, at least you had the decency to do it behind my back. Evening -10. -10, Jesus. Patrick Doyle, good evening. Thank you for 15 months. Cheers, buddy. Don't be worrying, lads. These introductions only take about 2.5 minutes, Roy says, just put the wheels on the ground at Abu Dhabi from Maastricht, Etihad Cargo 777 flight factor. Nice, Roy, nice. That sounds fantastic, man. Jan Moorkamp is here. Let me see. 38 months, Jan. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. Sorry, but who is the 5-year-old in Murph's chair? Brilliant! Wait, hang on, that could be worse. Gibbo, I know, it's my boyish good looks. Right. I'm catching up at Movember, isn't that what they call it? Yeah, that's the one. Petrolhead is here, good evening. Who said Paddy? Who said Paddy? Briggsy, shag off. Right, now we're nearly there, lads. It's all coming together, look. Kubi Montana, welcome in. GTA is here, good to see you. Atlas Commander, good evening. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. I'll try that again in June. Legend Dave. That was better. Good evening, Dave. You're looking well. Northland Air. Very happy Monday to you. Virtual Flight Diaries, hello. Jace Ward is here. Charlotte Good, good evening. DJ Taz, welcome in. I don't see any public hubs enjoying FS. Do I need to do a port forward? No. Just do a search for TTM Flying Circus or the Flying Circus. You should get in there. Cy Voltage, good evening. Alan Ben is here. Eric, welcome. Ned Fitzgerald, good evening, Ned. Sticky Rice is here. Stick Figure was over there. Sticky Rice, good evening. Mav Wings is here. Black Sheep Jean, keep the long shorts coming. Oh, good day. Keep the long shorts coming. Jean, it's good to see you. Craig Malton is here. 18 degrees here in southeast Spain. Yeah, well, the rest of us are freezing, right? Let me see. Robert Harrison, good evening. Hope you're well. Let me see now. Wait, who's that standing behind you? Wait, what? New name, Babyface Murph. Flying Diggs is here. Sure, good to see you, Diggs. Mike Coffey, good to see you. No snow, but it's 5 degrees. Is Murph going to fly a blimp? Yeah, we'll give it a try, Now, let's see what happens. We've caught up with everyone now. There's a reason why I'm stalling, lads. I can't fly this thing at all, But it'd be grand. I'll make it look like I can. Right, almost Paddy needs less hair. Jesus. Internet speed from a pearly 67 to 2.3 gigs. Toto, you know what that means now? Cranking up all the resolutions to 4K. If you have a 4K
studies,
monitor.
60% of the time.
Television, perhaps.
Every time.
Right, brilliant. Nighthawk is here. Don't leave without me, don't worry. Well, in fairness, did you ever see Mary Poppins? The movie Mary Poppins, right? It was a documentary. No, it wasn't. Mary Poppins, right? But when she takes out the umbrella and she just kind of off she goes? That's what this thing does. You basically unpause the sim and off you go. That's me showing you off you go. Right. Right. Let's see. We'll stop stalling. Right, come over here now. You're brilliant. Right, take one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be absolutely... This is going to be absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about here at all, and we'll be grand, right? I thought you'd flown away. Right? Brilliant. It's amazing what you can do with special effects these days, isn't it? Right, what am I doing here? Oh, yes, we're doing one of those. Yes, and we're doing one of these. Yes, and then one of those. I'm pressing many buttons. Okay, right, friends. Mary Poppins conspiracies. You'll never sleep again. Model matching is going to be good tonight. I think so. Multiplayer is working just fine. 100%. I love your new 4K camera. You look much more better through the lens. Well, Sumner. Thank you very much. Yes, I strive for the crystal clarity of showing off my beautiful face. What? Who said that out loud? Murphy's taking some sort of, drugs are bad, But anyway, seems like I might not catch... Oh, wait, need to do some testing here. Bambog, you ledge. Right, friends, this here is the Airship Industries Skyship. The Skyship 600. A very remarkable thing. And I haven't a clue how to fly it. However, basically, the control settings for this gadget are going to be very different than what you're used to, be it with rotary wing or with fixed wing. So it has its own category. This is lighter than air, so similar to what you get in kind of like balloons and stuff. But we do have some flight controls. We have elevators and we have rudders. Very nice. And we also have a propulsion system using propellers, right? An owl prop there. We've two of them. So basically, to give you a quick understanding how it works, the machine itself has helium, and that's what's in the balloon part, you see, or the blimp part. And we have a number of different air valves in which we can use. Our elevator controls, up and down, well, they control the elevators toward the rear of the ship. Right? On the sides, they're elevators. Our rudder pedals, well, they control the rudder. There is no aileron, right? One can change Murph's voice. Wait, what? I thought you still had the lens cap on. The humanity, right? I thought, I need a Duff Beer livery. Brilliant, right? Who knew that Murphy had a cleft chin? What's a cleft chin? A double chin? Shag off, will you? Leave my emotions alone, Scott. You're not. He made me cry again. Who? The man from Texas. He said something, and I cried. But anyway, the airship is capable, or the Skyship, it's capable of holding passengers. You see? I'm in. Oh wait, I'm not. Hang on. You dirty. Well. Jesus, I can't even show you that. Give out! Get that crap off my screen! Jesus! Report to Discord. Jesus. Right, anyway, we're over here, look. Supposed to be educational and, but anyway, it can carry passengers, you see. So with this craft, with this ship, friends, what do we have here? A number of seats. Ah, yes, I can see it. We have a number of seats, and then as we ramble towards the bridge, yes, the bridge, the fly bridge, this is what we're met with. So it looks very normal kind of aviation, but indeed it's not. Epic Fool, good to see you. I always knew there was a lot of hot air in this stream. Right, what? No, Mr. TBHI, there was no sharing that. In fact, I'd say there's a good chance he'd be locked up if I share. Where'd you get that? Oh, Kubo. He's distributing it. Anyway, so look, a couple of seats, right? And then there's a lavvy, which in this case... Oh, hang on, they've modelled it. Oh, it's a drop. Oh, no, maybe it's a wee kitchen or something. Interesting lavvy. What's back here now? Oh, look, there is stuff in here we can go exploring. Look at this. Engine timers and the devil, right? Actuators and more stuff in there, look. So maybe we can actually interact with that. I need to check it out. This is an aircraft, lads, I have not ever flown. So we're going to have a bit of crack with it, right? Rick20, I don't believe so. Earth before fueling. Total capacity is 490 kilograms, or 150 imperial gallons, don't you know? Fuel is MoGas 4-star. Or Avgas, max fuel pressure 15 pounds per square inch. Interesting. There's quite a lot of detail on this, I gotta say. So it does have a landing gear. I don't believe it's retractable at all. However, there is a what are they called? Oh Jesus, we have them on the boat. There's a name for them. Come on, you lot. Facility, yeah. Fenders. Jesus. Not ballast, no, that's a fender. Our ballast is, well, it'll be inside here. And I imagine then we can open out or release some of the ballast using some of these valves, you see? Because we can see the little hinge and actuator arm there, and that'll release some ballast. So yes. So anyway, boat protector, yeah, that'll do as well, yeah, that'll do as well. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, now, where are we at? It's actually very well detailed, isn't it? Look at this. It's very well detailed. Now, you're probably asking what's inside. Nothing! There's nothing inside. It's helium, you see. So this is our craft for today, friends. This is going to be hilarious. So, into the flight deck we go. And, well, if you open up some Navigraph, there's no real plan to this. And the reason why there isn't a plan to this is because, well, we literally are going to go places I haven't a clue how we get there. But this is the island of St Helena. And what we want to do, when we do take off, we're going to kind of go around the south coast, then we're going to ramble in a little bit. And then we'll ramble back out again. We're just basically going to be cruising here because we have a bit of our story in which we need to cover.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
This thing will never hit 88 miles an hour. You know, if you can't find it, the mass disconnect is in the default communications menu. So I don't even know if you can disconnect because I have the thing paused. Otherwise, we immediately take off. Look. Intercom. Ground. Oh no, group. Okay, so we'll try and turn on the battery, right? Battery. Generator. Not in use. Not in use. Intercom or group. So the main communication, haven't a clue, right? Haven't a clue. But look at that. Actually, we haven't taken it off. Oh, no, we are. We're kind of just floating here. So we're going to put some power into this and see what happens. So get some lights on, please. Standby fuel pumps come on. Our balloon fans our balloonette fans should be on, right? What else we have? Emergency stuff, that's grand. Armed. Main on. Battery generator. So we're going to start the starboard engine first. And let's see what happens here. So we're going to say start position. Try and rejig this and give it a start. So we're looking to see some... Jane, then she's alive. Right, that's running. Don't mind the fact that we're getting blown away now, lads. This is all part of the plan. Now we go port. Now we're going to reset these gadgets. Now, here's the ticket what we need to do, right? I mean, here's a real ticket. What we need to do from in here. We have... Now, see these props behind us? These big prop fans? We need to put them on a controllable button. One up, one down. Right? And that's what's going to control all of this mad stuff that we try to fly, you see? So if we do this right, this should park us on the ground, sort of nearly almost. That should slow us down with our forward motion. And then we have a number of trims, and then we've air valves, and we've all the we've the devil knows what else, right? So that should kind of put us into a hover and hold us. Right, while we're waiting... No, that's bringing you backwards, Murph. Oh, Jesus, don't go backwards. Right, now, avionics need to come on. So let's see here. We're going to put this guy on, brighten it up there to weather. Yes. Bring him back a little bit. We shan't be worrying too much. On up here now. Is everything on that needs to be on? I think it is. Battery's looking good. Starter is now isolated. These fans are all good. Peter, he can come on. What else do we have over here? This all looks good to me as well. Our avionics, they're all on. Oh, Jesus. Easy now. And what else? You want to OK this? Sometimes your GPS works, sometimes it doesn't. I can't actually get it off the screen, so we'll have to just kind of wait and see, you know. But the main way to control this, right? These little fan fellas here behind us, look. These guys, you need to bound all of these. So if you've never flown in the airship before, this is not for the timid, right? Can you use the GTN? You can, yeah. This is not for the faint of heart. This is quite a difficult machine to fly. But we'll see how we go, right? You can see we have elevators moving there. We have our rudder moving there. And then the rest is just going to be done by a series of smoke and mirrors as we totally kind of, fake everything and see what happens, right? So, what I'm going to do, we're going to add in a bit of power. We're going to bring this guy up and we're going to climb like a devil. And by doing so, you want to watch your trim. It's a weird looking Cessna, right? So, I mean, yeah, look. It's doing its thing, look. Brilliant. That's me. I'm doing that. Ah, fantastic. Kane, good to see you, buddy. Now, if we look at it this way, well, you get the idea, right? And then if you wanted to put it into, like, we need to try and land and also bring our speed back, velocity back, we're kind of pointing these lads behind us. Do you know what I mean? And then we try and go for what we call, not like that. That was 711 feet. Yeah, it didn't like that. We get the idea, right? Mr. Big Britches had a CTD. Idle Cutoff had a CTD. Ah, Jesus. Right, there's CTDs everywhere. Right, so we're back there now, Betsy. Zappel, good evening. Do the engines have a name for binding? Yes. So, will I go to the controls first? I'll go to the controls first so you know what the story is, right? This is what you need to bind, right? So, let's have a look. Search by input. So, throttle. We have throttle axes, and then we have what's called decrease horizontal thrust vector. So, this is where you put it in. It's basically your thrust vectoring, right? So, it's on an axis. So, your thrust vector, right? This one. Propeller or condition lever. Same sort of crack, right? The next one we need to look at are these guys. Your vertical thrust vector. So you need a decrease vertical thrust, and then you need an increase vertical thrust. And they're basically they're your turbofans. They're the fan engines that move up and down, right? Larry, good to see you. What LRM do I use? LRM. Mr. Rene had a CTD as well. Are you serious, lads? What's going on with all the CTDs? So they're the main controls that you need, right? Hopefully, Jesus, don't CTD more. It should be all right. Okay, so we're going to apply a bit of power. We're going to bring the turbofans, or the fans, in the position that we need. If we check the exterior, you'll see the direction in which they're pointing. So if we have the air coming out of the fans pointing at the ground behind us, well, we will start to lift. Also, on the elevator, and the idea is somewhere between a helicopter and a balloon in terms of its movement. As I said, not the easiest thing to do. So a bit of power. And what we're trying to do here, we're trying to get the our nose upwards. Easy now. Right, she's making a bit of noise here now. Then we're going to try and get some airspeed into this. Oopsie daisy. There we go. Try and keep her level. Add all sorts of trim. And here's our nose starting to come up. Landing rate monitor. Oh, it's built in with flow. Leighton, it's built in with flow. So you can see now we're starting to get a little bit of airspeed. And as we're doing this, we also want to pick up a little bit of vertical speed. So we need to direction these thrust vectors upwards, right? There goes Mud Dog again, you absolute mad lad. Now there is a checklist there, you can go through it, right? And it, it'll do all the stuff. But just kind of see how you get on with it. I'm going to crash and die many, many times here. I just am, I just know by it. Although it looks kind of weird and wonderful, doesn't it? Ah, brilliant. Look at the... Ah, brilliant. Now, in terms of steering this, well, good luck. You might get it. Heisenberg, good to see you. Welcome in, buddy. Isn't it most unusual, this thing? Like, in terms of even getting some... Why did all my multiplayer just disappear? Oh no, there it is. Dashboard, there we go. Right, let's see what this can kind of do. Maybe it mightn't do anything. There's a big mountain over there that we need to watch. So what we'll do, right? Fast music doesn't really work with this, lads, but sure, listen. If you're trying to fly along in the Skyship, right, if you're on the Xbox or PlayStation, press 1. PC pilots, press 2. If you're using Skynet or JoinFS, it's number 3. And if you're, like me, lost, like a goat staring at thunder or man seeing fire for the first time, you press number 4. Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream Monday to Friday, 2000 Zulu time, right here. Suggest we get out and walk. Jesus. What number for CTDs? Gibbo's phone number 087. Oh, Jesus. Put her up there now, Betsy. Yes. Easy now. Easy now. I'd feel safer in a boat. Yeah. Right, we seem to be kind of in a pitch down sort of a setup here. Wait now, why isn't me... Is this on full pelt? It is. No. Wonder why my sim is so quiet. There we go now, look. So, we're in a state of, well, just to see what we can do here, lads, right? I mean, literally, that's all we can do. We can't do much else, right? Easier controlling with a keyboard, probably. Right. Oh, look at that. My Xbox controller messes with this as well. Interesting. We'll be grand, right? We'll be totally grand, right? This is a great idea. Right, brilliant. Anyway, our story, friends, right? Our story. This is where it all gets very important. So, last week, of course, we finished up with the Battle of Waterloo. I forgot to turn on my camera. With Waterloo, right? So, well, tonight, this is the end. The magnificent grand finale in this shagging thing. But anyway, 4 days after Waterloo, Napoleon Bonaparte was back in Paris. There was no triumph in his return, no crowds, no momentum, just the quiet knowledge that the game was indeed over. To spare France further destruction, he advocated for the second time on the 22nd of June 1815. He declared his public life finished and proclaimed his son, Emperor Napoleon II, a final symbolic gesture toward a future that would never come. Within weeks, the Bourbon monarchy was restored, Louis XVIII taking the throne on July the 8th, as if the revolution itself had been folded away and put back onto the shelf. Napoleon didn't wait to be arrested. He fled west through a country that no longer rose to meet him, and he headed to the port of Rochefort with the hope, faint but not yet extinguished, of slipping away to the United States. But the sea had always been his enemy. The British warship Bellerophon lay across the harbour mouth, and while Bourbon and Prussian patrols closed in on land. On July the 15th, Napoleon stepped aboard the British ship and he formally placed himself under the laws of England. It was a moment of quiet finality. The man who had dictated the fate of Europe was now a prisoner asking for mercy. France itself was occupied and divided into zones, administered by the Austrians, Prussians, Russians, and the British, with Wellington appointed overall commander. The Prussians, in particular, burned with a desire for vengeance after years of humiliation under French rule. Wellington opposed execution, insisting he would not be the executioner. The Allies agreed on something colder, more permanent: exile. By the summer of 1816, Napoleon Bonaparte found himself on St Helena, a jagged volcanic island in the middle of the South Atlantic, 10 miles long, 6 miles wide, battered by wind and sea. It was a speck of land halfway between Africa and Brazil, more than 5,000 miles from London and even further from Paris. A modest farming community, a garrison, and nothing else. One of the most remote inhabited places on Earth, chosen precisely so that escape was unthinkable. Napoleon understood the symbolism immediately. In his journal he wrote that he had worn the imperial crown of France and the Iron Crown of Italy, but that England had now given him a greater and more glorious one: the crown of thorns. For a man of colossal ego and reputation, this was a spectacular fall. Only months earlier he had been the master of continental Europe, the most brilliant general of his age, and the central figure in 20 years of war that reshaped the entire planet. In December, he was moved to Longwood House, and any remaining illusion of dignity, quickly evaporated. The house sat high on the island, permanently damp, frequently shrouded in cloud, infested with rats. It was so humid that playing cards had to be heated to keep them from sticking together. It was a humiliating come down for a man who had slept in palaces and dictated strategy from campaign tents across Europe. The new governor of the island, Sir Hudson Lowe, was meticulous, suspicious, and relentlessly bureaucratic. Napoleon was never to be out of sight. The garrison grew to 2,000 men, his movements were restricted, his supplies rationed, even butter and firewood were controlled. He was forbidden from growing vegetables, green being the colour of the Republic and therefore perhaps a symbol too far. Whether deliberate or simply petty, the effect was the same. And the British knew this. They knew by putting Sir Hudson Lowe in charge here, he'd be tough, very tough. So Napoleon responded the only way he still could. He talked. He reminisced, he argued, dictated, explained. He poured his thoughts into what would become the memoir or the memorial of Saint Helena, shaping the story of his life as carefully as he once shaped battle plans. This was where the myth of Napoleon truly took form. The misunderstood reformer, the man betrayed by kings, the enlightened ruler brought low by reactionary Europe. Longwood became not just a prison, but a workshop of memory. He wrote all his memoirs. As the years passed, his health declined. In 1817, the symptoms became unmistakable: stomach cancer. The same illness that had killed his father. He weakened, withdrew, and spent long hours in bed. On the evening of Saturday, May the 5th, 1821, Napoleon Bonaparte died on his Iron Campaign bed at the age of 51. His final words were not of empire or destiny, but of attachment. He said, in his 3 last dying words, France, the army, Josephine. Years later, his death was described as mythological. Like Prometheus chained to a rock, his liver consumed by a vulture. It was a strangely fitting image for a man whose punishment was not sudden death, but a slow erosion. In 1840, long after the passion of the age had cooled, King Louis Philippe ordered Napoleon's remains returned to France. His coffin was carried through Paris on a vast gilded carriage, watched by millions. The nation that had suffered so deeply under his ambition chose, in the end, to honour him. His nephew would later become Emperor Napoleon III, drawing directly on the legend forged at Longwood. Kind of a non-eventful, dim end. But it achieved everything that, well, the British had planned for it to happen. Napoleon at Elba broke out. I mean, he abdicated, he left, he was brought to an island, which was the island of Elba. The British would joke to say he's enough Elba room. They gave him a nice big building. He had a garrison of some 12,000. He commanded 12,000 people. He had a strong garrison of about 1,000. Elba was the ticket he should have got. But we all know what happened. He came back. He took the reins of empire once again, and then the final showdown, of course, was at the Battle of Waterloo, in which he was, absolutely, without question, defeated. Do you know? Can we see Longwood in the sim? I think so. It's not modelled in any particular way, but we'll get an idea for the land of where we're at, right? So where we're exploring here, lads, this is St Helena. It's somewhere I've never visited in the sim, right? Beautiful satellite terrain, 10 miles long, 6 miles wide. This was the final place where Napoleon lived. But the island itself is quite fascinating. Other exiles, if you like, or political prisoners have been sent here. Not just Napoleon. But we'll learn about them in a little while, you know. So this entire series, 10 parts, we've covered this over the last 10 weeks. From the aviation side, we've used some phenomenal aircraft. All the way back to, Ajaccio, to the TBM, to we've used quite a lot of aircraft, even heli flying around Paris. And this, of course, very unique to be in an airship, which is very slow, very deliberate, but that's kind of what we're going for here. And it's just a way to kind of view this island. And you do get a sense then of how out of the way it is. I mean, there's nothing for thousands of miles in any direction. It's quite mad, right? But our story that we've started 10 weeks ago, it's many great stories start on an island. Napoleon Bonaparte's life opens in Corsica, a rugged land newly absorbed into France, still smouldering with resentment and rebellion. Born in 1769 to a proud but precarious family, he arrived and, as his homeland, lost its independence. An omen, perhaps, for a man whose entire life would be shaped by conquest, displacement, and ambition. From the very beginning, Napoleon was an outsider, Corsican by blood, French by necessity, never quite comfortable in either world. He was sent to France as a boy. He entered military schools, where he was mocked for his accent, isolated by his poverty, and hardened by cold winters and the colder aristocratic contempt. But what alienated him also forged him. Discipline replaced belonging, mathematics replaced comfort, and war became a profession, also a ladder, one in which he intended to climb. The revolution provided his moment. At Toulon in 1793, amid the chaos and civil war, a young artillery officer demonstrated something rare: clarity under fire. His grasp of terrain, timing, and violence, well, it was surgical. Toulon made him a general at 24 and revealed a man who did not merely fight the battles, he understood them. Italy followed. Here Napoleon, no longer just effective, he was electric. Against larger Austrian armies who moved faster, struck harder, and lived off the land. At Lodi, Arcole, and Rivoli, he created the legend, a commander who shared hardship, inspired devotion, and turned speed into strategy. Not to mention he made his fortune. It was Italy that Europe first began to whisper his name with a mixture of awe and dread. Then we had Egypt, and Egypt was different. Ostensibly a strike against British power, the Egyptian expedition became a collision between ambition and reality. Napoleon, dazzled at the Battle of the Pyramids, marched beneath 40 centuries of history and brought scholars alongside soldiers. But the British fleet destroyed his navy at Aboukir Bay. Plague ravaged his men, and the desert swallowed his dreams. He left quietly, abandoning his army to return to France, his first great escape. Back home, well, France was exhausted, frightened and ripe for control. In 1799, Napoleon seized power, not with rhetoric, but with order. As first consul, then emperor, he rebuilt the state, laws, administration, education, and also meritocracy. He crowned himself at Notre Dame, placing the crown upon his own head, a declaration that power came not from God, but from force of will. For a decade, Europe bent. At Austerlitz, Jena, and Wagram, Napoleon dismantled coalitions with terrifying efficiency. Kingdoms rose and fell at his pleasure. His marshals ruled continents, and beneath the triumph lay rot. Spain became a bleeding wound, a war of ambushes and hatred that devoured men and morale. The Spanish ulcer tied down hundreds of thousands of troops, and it gave Britain its foothold on the continent. Then came Russia. In 1812, Napoleon marched east with the army Europe had never seen. It was not defeated in battle. It was merely disintegrated. Its logistics collapsed, disease advanced faster than cavalry, Moscow burned, winter arrived, and of the 600,000 or so who crossed, only a fraction returned. The retreat destroyed something no army could replace: belief. Europe sensed it immediately. Prussia rose, Austria hesitated, Russia advanced. A new coalition formed, not to negotiate, but to remove him entirely. Napoleon fought on, raising new armies of boys and old men, winning tactical victories that no longer mattered. At Leipzig, in the Battle of the Nations, his allies deserted him mid-battle. Germany was lost, France was exposed, and in 1814, the war came home. With brilliance and desperation, Napoleon fought across eastern France, striking isolated enemy corps, moving faster than defeat should allow, but numbers told the final story. Paris fell, his marshals refused to continue, and at Fontainebleau he abdicated and was sent to Elba, an emperor reduced to a governor of Iraq. Europe believed it was over. It wasn't. In 1815, Napoleon escaped. He landed in France and marched to Paris without firing a single shot. Regiments sent to arrest him joined him instead, and for 100 days he ruled again. Older, sharper. Don't end up in the trees, Murphy! Oh jeez, oh nothing, oh, nothing to see here, lads. It's totally fine. Oh Jesus, then. All is totally fine. Yeah, let me just fix the gap. Oh Jesus. Right. Shh. She's totally fine. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. Where is this now? I'm after losing the page. All right, I found it again. I was down here.
It's not the plane, it's the pilot.
So, in 1815, Napoleon escaped. He landed in France and marched to Paris without firing a shot. Regiments sent to arrest him instead joined him, and for 100 days he ruled again. Older, sharper, and painfully aware of the odds. He offered peace. Europe offered annihilation. At Waterloo, the gamble ended. In the rain and the mud, against Wellington and also Blucher, Napoleon fought his last battle. When the old guard broke, the legend shattered. He abdicated again and surrendered to the British, not as a conqueror, but as a prisoner. Which brings us back to St Helena. This speck in the South Atlantic, thousands of miles from everything he once ruled, he lived under constant surveillance. He lived out his final years in damp rooms and thin air, dictating his memoirs, shaping his legacy, and recasting defeat into myth. At the age of 51, he passed away in 1821. And this is the paradox of Napoleon Bonaparte, a revolutionary who crowned himself emperor, a liberator who ruled as dictator, a genius who outran his own limits. He reshaped Europe, he rewrote warfare and proved that one man, given opportunity, intellect, and ambition without restraint, could bend history itself. Whether hero or tyrant, builder or destroyer, one truth remains unavoidable. For a moment in time, Napoleon wasn't merely part of history. Napoleon was history. Today, Napoleon lies beneath the dome of Les Invalides in Paris in a red quartzite sarcophagus. He once said that to die is nothing, but to live defeated and without glory is to die every day. And yet, history has softened its verdict. Napoleon is remembered in two ways. There is the Napoleon of the left, the revolutionary who stood with the people, ended feudalism, rebuilt the state, and imposed order after a decade of chaos. Then we have the Napoleon of the right, the authoritarian ruler, the man of control and hierarchy. His battles are rarely celebrated now. His laws are, the Code Napoleon still underpins legal systems across the world, and it is the statesman Bonaparte who endures more than the conqueror Napoleon. Modern opinion has shifted. Some no longer see him solely as the ogre his enemies once painted. Others see only the wreckage. 3 million dead, from Lisbon to Moscow. Ambition without restraint. Revolution turned empire. Was he a freedom fighter or a delusional egomaniac? A champion of merit or a man intoxicated by power? The reason Napoleon still matters is that we can have that argument. He was one of the greatest lawgivers, generals, and empire builders in history, and a dictator who seized power by force. Wellington once said that Napoleon's presence on a battlefield was worth 40,000 men. His intelligence was formidable, his ambition limitless, and his campaigns reshaped Europe and dominated 19th century culture as a symbol of what a single human being could achieve. He fascinates because he rose from nothing. He climbed higher than anyone else of his age, and because he reminds us of a world where individual will seem capable of bending history itself. Because of his story, well, it forces us to confront the cost of greatness. Whether feared or revered, there is no disputing this. In his time, Napoleon wasn't just the ruler of France or the ruler of the French. He was the most powerful man on earth. And even now, centuries later, the world still knows him by his first name, Napoleon. Ooh. Join us next week, where we follow the life of Bertie Ahern. I'm only messing, but imagine if we did. Brilliant. It's a shame to see the Skyship does not have the distinctive Porsche turbo engines. Does it have Porsche engines? What? So there we have it, friends. That is our Napoleon story. 10 weeks. How many shagging words are in this thing? 10 weeks, 152 pages of 49,500 words. A bit of crack. A bit of crack. Now, while we're here, because the views are actually quite astonishing. I don't know how we're still flying this, you know. Do you ever think his legacy would be remembered as much if he was called, you know, Jim or something, right? And then Jim, right? So, we're going to try and get ourselves turned round here, right? But what I want to do is have an old crack at St Helena itself. Because this is a fascinating island, right? Fascinating. St Helena, a volcanic tropical island located in the South Atlantic Ocean, right? It measures about 10 miles long by 6 miles wide and had a population of about 4,500 people back in 2021. It was named after Saint Helena, the mother of the Roman Emperor Constantine I, also known as Constantine the Great. It's one of the most remote major islands in the world and was uninhabited, man Murph, until the 16th century when it was discovered by the Portuguese. Later then taken control by the British. The primary method of reaching the island, it has one remote airport and also by cargo ships. The island is known being the second period exile of Napoleon Bonaparte from his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo. So what's this now? Loyal and unshakable. It's part of the it's part of the United Kingdom. It's a sovereign state within the United Kingdom. Right? Now, what's freaking nuts about this, right? Longwood House. So we need to try and find where Longwood House is. Now, to do this, I need to stop crashing and see can we actually get a bit of airspeed, because if we get airspeed, it means we can turn. You see? Look at the views, man. Right, so here's a bit of airspeed, meaning we should be able to control our rudder. Slowly. Don't expect to turn this thing very quick, right? Chalks, thank you very much indeed. Liptorius, thank you very much indeed. Very kind, lads. Husker 2, cheers, buddy. Right, we're now flying towards the giant
sleepy,
mountain.
snoozy snooze.
What, Lee? Good to see you. Listen, as difficult as it is to fly this, at least we can all say, do you remember the time you flew this thing, right? Yeah, we're positively flooring it at 36 knots. We actually are. We're actually moving this fairly fast, right? British rule came in 1815, by the way. The British government selected St Helena as a place of exile for Napoleon, following his defeat, of course. That's when there was British troops, if you like, on it. Crown colony. Oh, hang on, it's been under British control long before that. The East India Company took control of this place, right?
Hello there.
Now, to show you a picture of Longwood House, because it's fascinating, and I've limited time to show you, but that's Longwood House right there. That's where Napoleon lived, you see, right? Longwood House, look. Napoleon's last will. Isn't that mad? Also, there's a good chance we're never getting out of here because Janie then, right? How do I... Some more power, Louis! Up the hill. Oh wait, hang on. If I do this... No, Jesus, no, don't do that. Do this. This'll help. Yeah. We're going the wrong way. Pull up the nose here now, you know. And we need, savage lift. Savage, right? Getting to 0 degrees and put... Oh, Jesus. We need the nose to come up here. We need, vertical... Oh, no, we're going to die. Right. Ooh. Fear not. I have a terrible feeling about this. Oh yes, indeed. Right. We hit the ground. I've only one engine. Our left has given up the goat. Get in there quick. Wait now. Oh dear. Oh dear. Why is our left engine gone? Don't panic. Don't panic at all.
Can I get a refund?
No, shag off. There she goes. She's alive. Yes. Brilliant. Now, can we climb? This is the question, friends. Yes, we can. Look. Ah, brilliant. This is fantastic. Look, brilliant, absolutely incredible. Look at what's happening on your screens. It is a simulation miracle. Yes. Don't mind that bit. Don't mind that bit either. Right, I think we got the hang of it now, lads. You know, I reckon Napoleon could have flown this better. Listen! Ooh. It's alright, lads. We're doing it now, look. Sure, we're flying. Well, we're floating. But you... There's a good chance we're going to, like, literally abandon ship and maybe go with a helicopter, maybe. We'll see now. We'll keep this on for a minute, but there's a good chance we're going to go in choppers, lads, because this is painful. Jesus. It's a fascinating machine and all, you know. But, like, Jesus, though, you know what I mean? Very nice and pretty. Do you know how stubborn I am, though, you know? You're already abandoned ship. Look it. It's one of these weird and wonderful machines that we have in the sim. And I've never flown it. Ever. We've never done this in a stream. I never even tested this thing. You know what I mean? So, for that reason alone, I'm very happy that we've given this a bash. Even if it is going to make me feel 20 years older, you know? If you go any slower, you're going to need a shave, right? You only chose the thing because everything is too fast for a 6 to 10 mile island. Super Typhon, you've got me. The game is up. Right? I just couldn't miss the opportunity to visit this place, though. This is somewhere you'd never visit in the real world. Ever, you know. It sure is pretty. Yeah, me ballast is all over the shop. You all need to move back. Get into the back of the cabin now. You know, back of the cabin. Back of the cabin. Kind of nice, though, isn't it? Yes, I'm in the... Jesus, we've in this... Oh, look at the view. Well, that's pretty pretty, isn't it? B3 Burner, good to see you. I watch you once in a while, but this is the first time I've commented. Well, you're very welcome in, and thank you. Good to see you, buddy. I can see O'Leary adding this to the Ryanair fleet, I'm telling you. Here's the first aid kit. Oh, yeah. I mean, would you go up in one of these in the real world? I definitely would. Can you open the door? No, no, Jesus, no. We have to be on the ground for that crack to happen. You're at the door Longwood House in the Buccaneer. Ah! Hang on, we need to find you. It's over this neck of the woods somewhere. Oh, there he is there. Come on, Sunjammer. I'm on the way. Tony Brown's been here. Good man yourself. Not with you flying, I wouldn't. What are you talking about, Stu? I'd be brilliant flying you around in this. You're right back there, Stu. Murph, I couldn't be better. And just shut your eyes and you're there, right? Great way to fly and see the sights. Dude, it is. It actually is. There's definitely a challenge trying to control the gadget, right? Muse fan is here. Muse, look at this. I'm flying a Skyship. Yes. I mean, there's skills being deployed here, lads, you know. Isn't it only gorgeous, though, isn't it? Like, it is terribly, terribly nice. It flies as bad as, you know, me after about 10 pints, but, you know. Nothing at all can go wrong here. No, this is beautiful. We're just navigating over towards Sunjammer. We'll arrive there next Saturday. Sunjammer, put on the kettle. We'll be with you in a while. I'm trying to use ailerons, but I don't have ailerons. And my GPS doesn't work. It's bugged out. You know. Mission power, fuel shuttle. Oh, Jesus, don't hit that one. Oh, we've water ballast here, but it's empty. Plenty of fuel, though. And there's quite a bit going on here. I don't know what these dampers do. Oh.
It's not the plane. It's the pilot.
But the good news here, lads, we're gaining altitude. Now, you might be saying, Murph, what are you actually using? The airship industry Skyship 600 is a modern blimp, originally designed by typical the British company Airship Industries, further developed by a subsidiary of Westinghouse Electric Corporation. The type certificate holder is now Skyship Services of Orlando, Florida. It made its maiden flight on the 6th of March 1984, and by August 1987 a further 6 had been built and flown. The Skyship is similar in appearance to, but larger than the Skyship 500. Airship Industries collapsed in 1990, with Westinghouse Electric's defense arm had taken over the US Navy's airship program, in which Airship Industries was a partner and bought the military marketing rights and intellectual rights to the Skyship designs. Right. There was 10 of these built. You know, and we're going to probably break one. Most Skyships have been used for advertising purposes, like the 600-5. It flew in the 2006 The Spirit of Dubai, purpose-built Skyship used to promote the Division Bell tour by Pink Floyd. Until the ship's destruction, pieces of the craft used by Pink Floyd became souvenirs. In December 2007, a Skyship was leased by supporters of US presidential candidate Ron Paul to fly with the banner, "Who is Ron Paul? Google Ron Paul." Others have been used for surveillance, including during the 2004 Summer Olympics. The first Skyship, number 600-1, registered Golf Sierra Kilo Sierra Charlie, was used for trials with the French Navy. The 2.2-ton payload, fifth built, was sold to a Canadian mining company for aerial survey work. Ooh. So it has a crew of 2. Both are mad. 12 passengers. Gondola length. We're in the gondola. Ah, brilliant. 2 Porsche 6-cylinder horizontally opposed turbocharged piston engines. 255 horsepower each. Maximum speed 49 knots. Cruise speed 30 knots. It has a range of 550 nautical miles and a service ceiling of 10,000 feet. Their industry popped. Right, I need to get now, Janie then. Where's Sunjammer? Is he beneath us? He is. Right, I know exactly what to do. Jesus, keep the nose down. Easy now. We're descending here now nicely. It's all under control. Yes. No. Yes. Look at this. Ah, brilliant. Why am I still going? No, don't be going forward at all there, Chief. Yes. The blimp ceiling alone can reach stratosphere, but the piston engines can't breathe up there. Ah. Skyship. First cousin once removed to the sea boat. The sea boat. Cosplay, right? Just stick a pin in it. You'll soon get down. Oh, look at this. We're maneuvering and everything. We're going to bring it in for a very gentle landing. Easy now. You can't land on the roofs. Are you mad? Land on the roofs? Easy now. You know. It's all coming together, this. I mean, who would you ever have thought, you know, here we are doing our thing in friggin' blimps. Oh, the humanity. Buttons. Yes. This actually looks kind of alright. Doesn't it? We're trying to get over to Longwood House, but there's a big queue of people. Right, drive it on there, Murphy, now. Get the speed up there, Jemima. Yup, you divil you. Yes. No. Yes. She's turning there now, you know. Keep her in a drop. Yes, that's good. Easy. There's no ailerons, right? Do a fly past camera chain, see how long that takes. It's in slow motion, so it is. Oh, Jesus. Right, handy now. Is this actually going to work? Whoopie Janie the gondola. Whoopie Junie Janie. Right. Take us in. Here we go now. Yes. We're going to try and do the thing with the oak. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be amazing and utterly realistic. In my head. Right? Filthy, good evening. Hope you're well, buddy. Easy now. Easy now. Gently does it, Jemima. Yes. Yes. Easy. Easy. Easy now. Pop your nose up there now, Murph. Yup, you devil, you. Yes. Alright. Easy. 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 I don't know what we're doing, but we're making it look fierce and impressive. Oh, Jesus. I know. It's going to take us another several minutes to get back. Hang on. Spool up. Oh, Jesus. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Turn these gadgets this way. Now, show me the meaning of power.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Tenured, good to see you. Easy. Easy. Left. We need left. Get the nose up. Yes! No! Don't, Jimmy! Oh! There's going to be... Oh, look, we did it! We did a thing! Right. I can't turn the second thing any more than what we're doing. Let's not panic. I mean, I wanted to land here by the road anyway, you know, right? Oh, no. Oh, I mean, yes! Yes! Right. I'm going to cheat by hitting the pause button. Right, come over here now and sure, listen, we'll look for Longwood House. It's over this way, look. Sunjammer said he's literally on top of it. Oh, he is. Is that it there? Ooh. I can't exit my aircraft and run around with you off at the crack, look. Well, that's kind of cool, isn't it? It's a long house. No, Longwood House. Where is this now? So, Longwood House. Psh. There it is back in the day. It's actually still there too this day, right? Wait to see this. We just need to find it. St Helena. St Helena. Come on, Google, do your thing. St Helena. Right. Now, St Helena, Napoleon's grave. So Longwood would be over here. Oh, that's it there, look. Jeez. Longwood House. Check it out, lads. That's mad, isn't it? And inside, please do not touch. It's all his regalia, look. Billiards table. That's fantastic, actually, isn't it? Man alive, look at that. Paintings of Napoleon. That's mad. So the bed he used, he brought that on his campaigns. That was his campaign bed. The old fold-out bed, right? Look at the bathtub. Jesus. I mean, by today's standards, it looks like it's a lovely house, right? But back then, I mean, you know, damp was a real problem. Like, so much so they had to dry the cards before they could even play cards. And he wasn't allowed to grow vegetables because green represented, you know, Republic. And there was a real worry that Napoleon would rise up yet again. You know? Entry fee is £12. Jesus. Isn't it mad? There's the devil there now, look. Napoleon Bonaparte. Isn't he fascinating, isn't he? Fascinating character. That's so cool, like, it's, you know, it's all a museum now, of course, but, like, that's just class. All the furniture, it's really nice. Your blimp blew away? Oh, Jesus. It's very good, isn't it? Jesus, his death mask, look. There's the sink and shower block. It's mad. All the different paintings and such. He's in some amount of paintings, I can tell you. That's mad. Death mask. Yeah, they used to do that. They'd get a bust of him. Yeah, he was allowed to design the garden. He just wasn't allowed to grow vegetables. And he befriended, innocently, he befriended one of the little girls. She was 13 or 14, and a very innocent kind of relationship. But she had kind of makey-uppy French, and he'd kind of makey-uppy English. But they managed. They became friends. It's mad. Like, consider, like, this fella, like, he ran the friggin' place. He was the gaffer, like. No, he could garden, he just wasn't allowed to grow vegetables. That's class, lads. Now, would you make the 5,000 kilometre journey to go out? I don't know. I don't get why the British just didn't hang him. Because they believed this would have been harder for him. Perhaps hanging was an easy way out for him. This was humiliation. You know? Like, by keeping him alive in exile, like that's how it's done. Every single day that he lived from that point on, he was reminded that the British won. You know? Fascinating place. To think of his story, like, he came from nothing. He came out of friggin' Ajaccio, you know? So Volta says it's the arsenic wallpaper. Yeah, well, they put it down to stomach cancer, and his father had it as well. But yeah, I read into that as well. It didn't really go anywhere though, side. Like, some people said, yeah, that definitely would have killed him over a period of 5 years. Probably not, right? But yeah, you are quite right to. Is that a Skoda taxi? No, that's not. That's the island's Tesla. You know. It just looks like it has an engine, but that's actually a battery. Yeah, a big battery. You know. Could you imagine what it would have been like for Napoleon seeing this island? Like, he was hoping, you know, maybe they'd put him up in a little house, you know, in the south of England, like they did with, you know, Louis the 15th or Louis the 16th, and he could live out his days in exile. No visits from Josephine. Josephine at this stage was already dead. Josephine died from pneumonia, and she was young as well. She was 50, so she was dead before this. It was said that Napoleon locked himself in his room, wouldn't come out for days when he heard that she died. She died at her house. She was out that night at a dance with Tsar Alexander, of all people, of Russia, and she got herself a cold from it, and it turned into pneumonia, and she didn't recover. But she was at Mount Maison, or yeah, Malmaison. That was her house that Napoleon got for her, and she died. He was heartbroken completely. Like, I never learned about Napoleon in school. I never learned, like, and even, you know, in my most recent of kind of history stuff, I was aware of him. I was aware of the revolutions and whatnot, but I didn't know it. Do you know what I mean? So I had to learn quite a bit from this. But, like, even what I've learned, even what I've put together, like, you're only scratching the surface here, lads. Do you know? Like, fascinating. The world back then, like, the turmoil, it was just nuts, you know? Did the British give him a picture of Mona Lisa at the end? No, so Napoleon had the picture. So Napoleon actually had the Mona Lisa in his bedroom at Fontainebleau. Or was it in Paris? It hung on his wall, and then he put it back into the Napoleon Museum, or the Museum of History later, as we know it, of course, the Louvre. But Napoleon actually had that picture. It was his nephew Napoleon III that fought in Crimea, allied to the British. Yeah. So Napoleon's son, Napoleon II, he died early. Napoleon III, which was his nephew, became Emperor Napoleon of the French. You're talking around the 1850s, right? France has a very interesting background, lads. Jeez, that's a phenomenal picture. That kind of encapsulates this entire episode. Jeez, that's a phenomenal picture. That kind of sums it up, lads, doesn't it? Where once, you know, this powerful, commanding genius, that alone was exactly what the British wanted. That is what they wanted. That was the target result. How do we like sort this fella out once and for all? Because don't forget, he only ever fought the British full on once. They absolutely obliterated him at sea because, well, the British had a genius, or what's his name? Nelson, right? They had a genius of the sea. And then when it came to battle, Napoleon was going to invade England. The British army, they didn't necessarily have a strong standing army. They did have the Royal Navy. And the Royal Navy has always been incredibly strong, do you know? And by the time then Napoleon engaged the British head on, just happened to be at Waterloo, with, you know, a very bad disadvantage. He did raise troops, but they were mostly boys and old men. He just didn't have the numbers. He was outnumbered almost 2-1. And then the Prussians came in, and they were mad for vengeance. They had some 50,000 in their ranks to come in and obliterate them. And remember, this was not a mission to eradicate or destroy the French. This was a mission to destroy Napoleon. Right? When the world powers all sat down and said, right, enough of this fella, we're taking him out. That's what they agreed upon. When Napoleon came back after his first abdication, he was very much, listen, I'm going to respect your borders. I'm not going to act the maggot. Everything's going to be grand. And sure, listen, can we not just all get along? And they were like, not this fella. Do you know? So like, there was, you know, British soldiers, like there's these famous pictures we saw from Waterloo, you know, with the Scots Guard and all this. When they approached the French, a contingent of French, I don't know the exact name of your man, I have to go digging, but I'll kind of paraphrase. When the British encircled a number of French, they turned around and they said, listen, there is no dishonour in throwing down your arms and come with us. You do not need to fight. And it was famously said by this Frenchman, merde. Merde. That's where we get the famous saying, because it was near the Merde Road, right? He said merde, and of course the British opened up a cannon fodder and absolutely blasted the lads out of it. But that's where that came from, do you know? So even though the world wanted... that was the ambulance that came from, it wasn't. Even though the world, and by the world's powers wanted rid of Napoleon, his troops, Napoleon's troops, were so loyal. They were so loyal to him, they wouldn't leave him. You know, retreat? Absolutely not. You know? But yeah, that is, that's fascinating stuff. That is, and that is where we are. This is the island, and it's absolutely fascinating. So we've Longwood House. His tomb was down the road. There it is. His grave. So this is where he was until Louis Philippe brought him out of here. So he's no longer resting there. He's in Paris, but that's where they had him. Napoleon was fond of tranquil Seine Valley, visiting it several times. The landscape, lush with foliage, including canna lilies, begonia, and also geraniums, encouraged the French Emperor to walk here. There were willow trees, but these have since disappeared as visitors pulled sprigs as keepsakes. The spring water from the valley was collected daily and taken to Longwood House for Napoleon to drink. The picturesque views down the valley, glimpsing the sea between the trees, captivated Napoleon. And a few days before his death, he confided in General Bertrand, in the event that orders are given for my body to remain on the island, bury me in the shade of the willows near the spring. His wishes were respected, And 4 days after his death on the 9th of May 1821, at about midday, the fourfold coffin was carried down the path by 8 soldiers. General Montholon requested that the following inscription be engraved on the tomb in French: Napoleon, born at Ajaccio, August 15, 1769, died at St Helena on May the 5th, 1821. The governor denied the request, insisting that Bonaparte be added. The French decided to leave the stone bare. Jesus. Following the interment, the tomb was guarded by sentries, a precaution to prevent the removal of the emperor's body until the Belle Poule expedition sent by King Louis Philippe in October 1840 exhumed the body, returning it with full honours to Les Invalides in Paris. An extract from St Helena archive reads, "Everything being prepared for the important operation at 12:30 in the morning of the 15th of October, the 25th anniversary of the arrival of Napoleon Bonaparte at St Helena, the first blow was struck, which was to open the grave where he had slept the sleep of death during nearly a quarter of a century, in order that his mortal remains might be carried to France to repose, as he was so emphatically desired in his dying testament, on the banks of the Seine in the midst of the people he loved so much." Jesus. That's mad, isn't it? Thank you, Larry. Very kind of you. So what was the story not being allowed to grow vegetables? So the idea was they didn't want him to grow vegetables because green. They didn't want him to... Green was the colour of republic. Kind of this rebellious sort of streak. And it was the governor of the island that says, no, you're not doing that. Because Napoleon, when he first abdicated, the game is up, you're out. All right, terribly sorry about that. Here's an island, the British put him there, go out on that island, and if you move, you're done for. No problem at all, I'll go out there. And he did. And he stayed on Elba until he didn't. Right? And the British had ships patrolling that island to make sure he wouldn't get out. They had a ship, right? And he still managed to escape. Got back to France, lifted the entire country once again, and then went to war. So the second time, no. They put him further away than anyone ever before. They had a garrison of 2,000 troops on this island, and they had 2 warships constantly patrolling. Constantly. To make sure there'd be none of this jiggery-pokery. You know? But yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. What a character. Like, when you consider everything that he did down throughout the years, and as we say, yes, friggin' egomaniac, nut job, killing millions, but also a liberator, gave Europe much of its laws on which it acts on today, court systems and whatnot, which was actually kind of based, in fact, directly based on the Pax Romana. Those of you who like your Roman history, I mean, that's where Napoleon got his ideas from, right? He based his ethics and laws on the Pax Romana, the Roman way. He just updated them, right? Kind of mad. I'd love to know what was going on in his mind the second time he was exiled, especially coming to this island. You know? So where was Waterloo? I take it not the one in London. Briggsy, correct. So Waterloo was in Belgium. It was a small little village called Waterloo. And the Battle of Waterloo most famous because that's where the French fought against the British and the Prussians. And it's where Napoleon lost. And he lost bad. He lost bad. Like, when you think about it, Waterloo Station, like, Napoleon inspired so many things, right? So Napoleon, what would you call it? Napoleon, what's the word we're looking for? Legacy? Right? So, all over the place. Not only that, but Napoleon also heavily aided the United States. So at the time, right? So American history, right? And during this time frame, America was having all sorts of crack. They were fighting the British. The United States had only pretty much started. They later went to war with Spain. And of course, you had the French who were there to help, right? In most part. Now, the French at this time were getting their arses kicked in Canada, and they were losing territories in the Caribbean and all over the shop. But they also had an awful lot of America. There was French territories all over America, and one of their largest pieces of land was Louisiana. And at the time, the United States, which was new, they were in the market to acquire. France, who needed money to pay for war and all this sort of stuff, well, they were in the market to sell. And famously, Louisiana was sold to the United States, was it for $15 million. Now, to put an idea on that, right? It was 15 million. Which basically, the land the size of Louisiana, that worked out at about, let me see, the real Randy, welcome in. Cheers, buddy, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Much larger than Louisiana, but Louisiana, that was sold for $15 million US. The French sold it, right? And it worked out at about 4 cents per square mile. 4 cents. Right? Like, what? They still have territories in Canada. Yeah, no, they do. Flyby Gaz is in with the raid. Lads, we're getting raided left, right and centre. Thank you all so very much indeed. Good evening to both the real Randy and welcome in Flyby Gaz. Guys, thank you very much indeed for the raid. Hope you had an awesome stream. You're very welcome in and thanks for joining us. We're here. We're doing Napoleon stuff, but we're in an aircraft or an airship, which is like, yeah, that's right, brilliant, right? But you're very welcome in. But I'm just trying to think now. Napoleon's legacy. Hang on. This is how important he was, you see, right? So we have some things. You've Bonaparte in Iowa, right? Route Napoleon, which is a stretch of the Route Nationale 85 in France. 325 kilometers of it, right? You have Napoleon Ville in Louisiana, right? You have Cour Napoleon, a courtyard in the Louvre. Napoleonsburg, a hill in Germany. You have Napoleon Cake, right? Code Napoleon, the French Civil Code established in 1804. Napoleon Complex, right? Pont de Austerlitz. But when you think about it, I mean, Nelson's Pillar, for example, the names of this time of how important this was. Trafalgar Square, isn't it? Trafalgar Square, the Battle of Trafalgar, the Wellington Monument, you've Waterloo Station, you've all of these names, and they all point back, be it on the British side or indeed on the French side of the Napoleonic Wars. That's how big it was, lads. This was massive, huge. In actual fact, it was the Great War until the First World War. Right? Parts of it were, because when you think about it, this entire, not specifically what we've covered, but this timeline, think about it. Both, the British, for example, right? You may not be aware of this, but the British burned the White House to the ground. Moscow was burned to the ground. It's fascinating to see that two of the world's biggest players today, right, had a similar kind of shuffle. The White House was burned to the ground and Moscow was burned to the ground. History's a devil, The White House was actually, and I kid you not, it was actually it was an Irish design, wasn't it? But it's fascinating to think when you look at history, you're like, wait, what? Did that happen? Well, you didn't learn that, do you know? Because you don't learn an awful lot of this in school, right? So the burning of Washington, also known as the capture of Washington, was a successful British amphibious attack conducted by Rear Admiral George Cockburn during the John Warren's Chesapeake campaign. It was the only time during the American Revolutionary War that a foreign power had captured and occupied a United States capital, following the defeat of American forces at the Battle of Bladensburg on the 24th of August, 1814. Like, think of the timelines, right? A British army led by Major General Robert Ross marched on Washington, D.C. That evening, British soldiers and sailors set fire to multiple public buildings, including the presidential mansion, the United States Capitol, and also the Washington Navy Yard. The attack was a part retaliation for prior American actions in British-held Upper Canada, in which US forces had burned and looted York. And don't forget, the Americans also were at war with Canada. Mad stuff. And it was supposed to be the year war or something. Went on for 3 years. Right? So where is this now? Members of our government, military fled the city in the wake. The British, led by Ross and Cockburn, entered Washington with a force of 4,500 battle-hardened men. The plan was to attack Washington, which had been formulated by Rear Admiral Cockburn. Ross, who was described by historian John McCavitt as an officer and a gentleman, initially planned for an orderly surrender of Washington. However, as his men entered the city under a flag of truce, American soldiers remaining in the city treacherously opened fire, wounding Ross's horse and killing 2 of his men. The US Capitol was, according to some contemporary travellers, the only building in Washington worthy to be noticed. After burning the Capitol, the British turned northwest up Pennsylvania Avenue toward the White House. After US government officials and President Madison fled the city, First Lady Dolly Madison received a letter from her husband urging her to be prepared to leave Washington at a moment's notice. Dolly organised the enslaved and other staff to save valuables from the British. James Madison's personnel enslaved attendant, the 15-year-old boy Paul Jennings, was an eyewitness. After later buying his freedom from the widow Dolly Madison, Jennings published his memoir and considered the first from the White House. Touch of salt now, of course, with Wikipedia, but they burnt out the White. It's mad, isn't it? Famous Churchill quote while visiting Washington in the Second World War to Ike: "It occurred to me on the way over here, the last British Prime Minister to visit the White House burnt it to the ground." Yeah, it's mad. History is absolutely nuts. People see things today and without giving consideration to history, are sometimes very quick to kind of jump on the bandwagon. Do you know what I mean? History, it is our greatest teacher. It just is, you know? It is our greatest teacher. And you can tell a lot from someone. The interest in history, it doesn't have to be necessarily, political history or, civilization or all that kind of jazz. Any sort of history. Those interested in sport, they know their sporting history. There's a reason why they know it, because they use that data in order to, forecast and project. So it doesn't really matter where you tie your particular discipline when it comes to history, but history is so very, very important, and it's also very fun to explore. What makes it incredible, of course, is the fact that here we are, overlooking a virtual St Helena in a simulator. This is absolutely nuts, isn't it? And that is one thing about history. History always repeats itself, Humankind just doesn't learn. It's just the way it is, But yeah. I don't know. Very interesting though. So what we'll do, we're going to jump out and go on helicopters now, because as much as that Skyship is great, we'll do a bit of touring here for the last couple of minutes, lads. Do we agree? Do we agree? Now, just, I want to put a pin on this before we start getting very kind of excited, right? History. That's my gig. Current political stuff that goes on in the world, yes, I know it can be stressful. Yes, I know it impacts our lives, but this isn't the place to talk about it. And the reason being is, lads, we all have different opinions. We all have different understandings. We all have different emotions. Talking about it in this sort of a public forum will only lead to one half of the group getting upset or pissed, right? And then the other side, there's no need for it here. So we tend just to, we're aware of it, but we don't need to dial into it, right? So them's the rules, right? So don't be sorry, don't feel ashamed, don't feel like you're after getting called out. That's not the case. I'm just saying, because, like, you know, there's a lot of other history content I would love to do, but you just can't. It's too soon in living memory, or it's too recent rather in living memory, and without without kind of stepping on toes maybe, or upsetting people, you've no way to achieve the story in a very kind of clean manner, if that makes sense, right? We'll go on the old French machine here, in the Alouette. So the point I'm making is, history is what I'm very much interested in, and I respect everyone. Everyone has different opinions, different backgrounds. We all use different roads in our lives to get to this location where we've all met each other, right? I totally get that, but I just know it doesn't work. If we go political, the arse will fall out of it, lads. Do you know? So and we all know the world is nuts, right? There's all sorts of madness going on, but it's not going to do us any good. It really won't, right? This is our little escape from having to worry about, stuff, or at least as best we can, right? But don't worry, we're still cool in that. It's grand, right? But yes, Alexander the Great would be good. Yeah, 100%. Start her up there now, Josephine. Right, hang on. We'll shut her down first. Anyone tuning in saying, No, listen, Roy, just, and I'll call you on that. Fear not, worry not, lads, right? I mean, we know where we are. This is not our very first stream. We're a very strong, founded community, right? And a very safe community at that as well. So don't feel that you need to apologize or back down or whatever else. I mean, we're all of sane mind. Well, I'm not, but the most of us are. We're all of sane mind. So if something said, someone takes it up the wrong way, we back off. That's it. But don't feel that you need to explain as to why. We get it. The world is nuts, lads, and like the way media and all that works, it almost encourages people to be negative. And by all means, we can do that. But I promise you, it'll bring you to the same result. You will feel worse than what you would had you just ignored it. And that's what I do. I ignore it. I'm aware of it, but I don't spend my time looking at it. And that was actually a big thing for me when I was working, right? When I worked for the Man, I was always a devil for like RTE News or Sky News or friggin' CNN and Fox and all this crap on my phone, giving me alerts every day. That's toxic. That's poison. Like, you can have any sort of impact on what's actually going on in the world. For your own mental friggin' well-being, just park the stuff. Look at funny cats. You'll learn more from funny cat videos than you would listening to people, Yeah, right, now, moving on, right, I've said me piece. Now we're going to fly in this machine, which is by far a beautiful, beautiful helicopter. So, battery, instruments, light them up there now, Jemima, and we're going to go flying. Oh, the sounds! The Alouette 3. Funny cats, lads, right? Time is an illusion. Lunchtime, doubly so. Brilliant. All right. Fuel coming in. This is Teog's hangar, the Alouette 3, by the way. One of my favourite helicopters in the sim, and I have very fond memories of this. I actually got to fly in this a couple of times. Do you know? Right. We have spinulage. Another word for spinach. Oh, yeah. Right. Generator. That sounded good. That looks good. Right, let us fly to the place with the things to see stuff that we'll see with stuff. And, you know, easy now. Easy now. Now we're threshing. Would you look at the state of that? Don't mind that model matching, it's totally grand. Yep. Totally grand. Now we can finally explore. Hell yeah. Alive, isn't that pretty? So, having the right aircraft actually makes the place look nicer. That's what we want. Easy now. Gently now. Easy. Easy. Oh, Jesus! Did you hear that rotor slap to you? Brilliant. Easy now, Murph. Easy now. Gently does it. All is well. Let's go see the cliffs. Now, Napoleon, he would have loved a Skoda. And an Alouette. Jesus, mind the mountains. He'd have loved the Dire Straits as well. Oh yeah, big Dire Straits fan. Hang on a second now. Now you're threshing. Heck yeah. He'd have loved a pint of Guinness. You can be sure he had a pint of Guinness. Dad, game time, 100%, buddy. Tags, helos, some of the best in the sim. Absolutely, man. These are incredible aircraft. They are savage. Right, we'll come up the hill here a little bit and see what we can see, right? I know we're supposed to be in an airship, but listen, you know, we gave it our best shot, lads. This is grand. Whoa, look at this. This is actually a beautiful island. I mean, you know, overspeed. Easy now. The airship had to go. We had to abandon ship. Yes. Change your title then. No, it'll be grand. We'll confuse them. It's the Irish version of the airship. Oh, Jesus, mind your speed, will you? They're doing a Sea King. Yeah. It's the Dauphin I'm most looking forward to. I cannot wait for the Dauphin. No idea when the release date is, but like, as soon as that chopper's available, man. Ooh. I really hope it does an Irish Air Corps livery. I mean, you know, that'd be Christmas. Look at this thing, man. Hey, Weedy Gaming, good to see you, buddy. I love this chopper. I had to fly this in VATSIM and everything. It's awesome. Hey, Cyrus T is here. Good to see you, bud. Very happy Monday to you. Some say also that the Skoda Superb is based on the French Skoda Superb. Really? The Skoda Superb B versus the Superb N. That's interesting. Voyager. They're a big car, but they are superb, Roy. You know. Had the pleasure of being in one of these for a few trips. Wheaty, yeah, same as myself, buddy. Great machine. A flying washing machine, you know. The Superb, not based off of Passat, is a mix between the Passat and the A6. So the island inhabitants, 4,500 people back in 2021. So it's probably, well, it's got to be similar, right? 4,500 people. Like, you're in the middle of nowhere. And of course, they kept Napoleon up high into the clouds. Mad, isn't it? This is a great machine, though, man. Here's that rotor slap. Oh, that's so good, man. Yepsy daisy. Oh, the Dauphin. I was in the Dauphin a few times as well. This thing just puts a smile on my face. It's awesome. Rick 20, 100%, buddy. Is it out? Or do you know the English word for Voyager? Is it excellence or something, Roy? No? That flight model is beautiful. Yeah, it's gorgeous, man. He's nailed the flight model on this. Oh, it's the French word for car. Oh, Jesus, is it? The Super Voyager. Wait, what? Parlez-vous le français? Petit. Où est le café, s'il vous plaît? Voilà mon passeport. You know. I'll go, yeah. Right now. Look. Je suis August. Tom may read everything. Oh, Jesus. Markeen. Hey, Warham's is here. Good to see you. I flew to shop around in Germany. No way. Oh, no. Easy. That's not the one. Yes. The best French song, Mon Ami. Ah, brilliant. Oh, what a song. Cyrus and Super Toy! Shag off! Oh, Jesus, go handy with the chopper! There's Klatsky, Steve Rings. The word alouette is the French word for lark. The guards are at the door with the parish priest again. You're only playing this because you did the backing vocals? It makes brilliant sense. Mr. GP, or TPHI, this is brilliant. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Deuce Pond, get out of that, Kane. It was brilliant. Fly the Concords, man. Absolutely incredible. Right. To the airport we go. Oh, Jesus. On chase plane, when on the ground, I'm moving the camera around and going under the ground. No, that's just the way chase plane does. It kind of ignores the ground mesh. Unfortunately, that's what it does. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, Dews Point. 12. Sorry, Kane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. I can count to 10 in French. Yeah, brilliant. It's one of my lifelong achievements, you know. Yeah, right, listen, anyway, as I said, you know, just, it's, yeah. It's not likely to get fixed with updates. No, I think it's part of the coding. It did it in 2020 as well. Where's French? Listen, I can converse à la français. Petit. Très petit. Right? Bienvenue, je suis Murph d'Irlande. Je suis 14 ans. Agus riche Tommy. Comment? I only know bad words in French. Mrs. TPHI, why are we not shocked and appalled by this discovery? Je sais, ooh. You see, you can sound French without having to know French. You know, if you say Jacques Lepitas, but make it sound like it's French, you know. Jacques Lepitas. Jacques Lepitas, you know. Is there an airport on St Helena? There is. It's called Saint Helena. I have a wonderful and very funny French colleague. Her accent is stronger than me Donegal one. We've great crack shouting at people. Listen. It's grand, lads. Don't be worried about it at all. The number 8 in French is eat or wheat. Jesus, right. What you do tonight, lads? Well, I mean, you know, we covered all sorts of trivia and history and politics and an egg timer. Listen, I absolutely adore France and I adore the French. The French, a great bunch of lads, you know. Easy now. Thank you, Creo. The name of our farm is in French, but you would know this if you joined. Is it? You picked a French name? La Farm? Briggsy, thank you very much. Merci buckets. Merci beaucoup. There's only one accent that's more sexier than the French, and that's the Irish, you know. Hello, Kate. It's me, the guy from the bar. No, honestly, it is. I mean, Jesus, then. They'd be queuing up outside your house just to listen to you speak. Easy now. Easy now. But so many joins us last Saturday night, yeah. Well, I wasn't really around, you know, and I'm not around next week either. Friday I have an airport run, Saturday I have an airport run, and then I think of Junior's going to like the ball, transition year ball. What? There's all these things I need to do. Oh no, the missus definitely likes a Scottish accent. But you see, a Scottish accent, I mean, Scotland, they were originally over here with us. And they said, look, we found an even more remote place with even more drizzle and more hardship, and they found Scotland. I mean, that's what happened, right? The missus loves my accent. When I hear a Buncrana accent, I run a mile, right? Try the Marseille accent. Be Janie then. I love accents, different accents, they fascinate me. Some of them scare me, but in general, you know. Oh, Keen Afford, really? Oh, Jesus. You're still in voice chat with me. Oh. I find it funny that I can understand Belfast or Ulster Scots much better than some people down the south. Really? Yeah, no, she's pretty good, Roy. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. Like, places are still open. You can still get around. You know, the New Yorkers are they're well able for snow, like, you know. Glaswegians, I think, should come with subtitles. Not at all. No, some of the accents are, oh jeez, they're brilliant. Some laugh, you know. Right, machine, let us do the thing with the yoke, with the things beside the yoke. Yeah. Fuel valve. There was about 10,000 flights cancelled. Yeah, I think what happened, Roy, not just in and out of like LaGuardia or LaGuardia or JFK and so on. It was crews couldn't make it because that whole Arctic polar like it upset the whole country. It was nuts. Do you know? But yeah, absolutely mad. That country dad is here. Good to see you. Easy now. 40 states affected by the weather. That's nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Ryan from a northeast Donegal shares a fair bit with Scotland. Lots of shared words and sayings with the Glasgow area. Yeah, 100%. Right, ladies and the gentlemen, we're in the ground. That was, Jesus, go back there, will you? That was the rise and fall of Napoleon over the last 10 weeks. Be Janie then. I very much enjoyed learning all about Napoleon. I hope you enjoyed me scuttering on about it, waffling on about it, you know. But as always, thank you so very, very much indeed for joining me. And experiencing this whole series has been fantastic. It really has. And getting to fly with you guys, that's what makes these things what they are. So I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed. Next week, we're going to be starting off a brand new Monday night series. It'll run for 7, maybe 8 weeks. And it's a series it's different, right? It's not heavily focused on history, of course. There'll be different aircraft in it. There's a bit of history in each one. We're going to learn about the things in which that we're looking at. But it's part one of a volume, if that makes sense, right? It's part one of a volume. So, I'll get a trailer out during the week and for next week, we'll have a look at it then. But we will be starting that next Monday night. I've no streams tomorrow, unfortunately. I'm caught up tomorrow morning, the afternoon, and then I'm away tomorrow evening with parent-teacher meetings at school. Wednesday, of course, we bring you the news. Thursday, a double stream, Navigraph during the day, and then we have some VATSIM flying to do on Thursday night, and then we have a group flight coming up this coming Friday. Where are we flying and what are we flying in? I think it's the Mentor we're in. Let's have a look. Yeah. We're taking out the T-34B Mentor for a flight in the United States, a ferry flight on Friday. Very much looking forward to that. So, guys, if you're in kind of mad weather, do take care, wrap up, and just be careful you don't slip or fall over. That's where the injuries happen. And for everyone else, well, thank you also very much indeed. Not just for tonight, but for tuning in for this whole series. As I say, history not for everyone, but I do appreciate you stopping by. And for those who are into this, I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun researching it. It's mad, but I started planning this over a year ago, and quite a bit goes into it. How you get the information from here out, I always struggle with that, but hopefully some of it stuck. Sort of, you know. But anyway, That's the story. Right, we will see you on Wednesday for the news at 2000 Zulu. We'll be over on Discord though until then, so do be sure to check us out over on Discord. That's where we hang about when we're not on a live stream, so ramble in, it's loads of fun. And yeah, we'll leave it there. So right, lads, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Ready for this to give up? I'm a little teapot, short
Dreamy, sleepy,
and
nighty,
stout.
snoozy, snooze.
Here is me handle, and here is me spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Just tip me over and pour me out. Ah, Jesus!
Oh, stop!
You see? Oh, we've got a gun sight. This is a beta, so I'm not too worried. It looks great though, doesn't it? Listen to this. Did you hear that bang? Did you? How do we fix this? Right, don't panic. For a warbird, it's one of the finest warbirds ever released in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Considering you have the excellent work